Back when I watched God of High School, I enjoyed it. Obviously, the anime had a lot of issues or problems related to the pacing, but I never felt like pacing was the whole reason or a reason at all to drop the show. I do feel like they should have kept certain things the same though. Now, God of High School isn't the only show that did this, obviously. Most mangas, or light novels get things changed or completely removed. Like, take Tokyo Ghoul for example. It got whole arcs removed, and this happens a lot when things get adapted to an anime. And sometimes it's for the better. But one of the things that they changed was the Mori versus Ippo fight, or Ilpo. It's hard to pronounce. This is why I had quite a lot of change, so I wanted to go over some things. But before I can go over Jin Mori versus Ippo, I had to go over the fight that happened before this, Dawi versus Park. And if you're wondering why, it's because the fight never happened in the first place. You see, in the manga, Mori actually fights every member of Ilpo's team, because in the manga, Ilpo wanted Mori to be worn down by the time he gets to fight him, knowing his partners never stood a chance against Mori, but they still want to help out in a different way. You see, in the anime, Ippo is shown to be way more respectful and a fair fighter, but in the manga, it presented him as someone who didn't mind using dirty tricks, or dirty tactics for that matter. Cutting out Jim Morty's fight with the first member and completely changing the second one feels like undermining how Ippo was approaching his fight in general, especially since it made plans for both of them against Jim Mori specifically. Now, Ippo still cared and respected Mori, but at the end of the day, he's in a fight he still wanted to win, especially since he's doing all this for his cousin in the first place. Just as shown in the anime, Ippo teaches Mori the flaws of his technique but does it way more in the manga, having Ippo generally be impressed with how fast Mori is to adapt to his moves and basically train Mori throughout the whole match. Then, just like in anime, they have an amazing clash. When you think Ippo is down for the count, he does his fast transformation. Now, in anime, it appears that the two are fine on even terms, then Mori Jin has his partial awakening, becoming Wukong, ultimately leading Ippo to getting overwhelmed and losing the fight. But in the manga, this never happened. Mori does eventually awaken, just not in this specific fight. Now let's talk about the fight that happened in the manga, because the fight in the manga was different. Because Mori Jin stood completely no chance. At this point, the only thing that he could do was defend. This was when Mirai and Mori decided that Mori could withdraw out the fight as long as he could, so that Mirai would have a shot again to beat him. The only reason he wanted to draw it out in the first place, so Mirai could understand his abilities better. Ebo ability. Not the best tactic, but some form of her gaining an advantage on him. Now, that's basically how the whole fight between Morihei and Ilpyo Park went. And I don't necessarily hate how they concluded the fight, but I do feel like they should at least left the part in where Mori fought both the teammates, since it was somewhat important to their fight leading up to this point. Now, if you're wondering what happened between Mirai and Ilpyo, maybe I'll do a video on it, or maybe I won't, depending on how this video itself do, or maybe you already read it. Who knows? But either way, that's basically it.